Alright, so this is going to be my 10 plus tips and tricks for beginner kind of medium level money making. It's kind of a mix of this and that, but I know everybody who's ever made a Path of Exile video has made a guide on making money, but some people resonate with different content creators better, so I decided, hey, I'll give it a shot on my own and see if anybody picks up on mine as well. So, first thing, the most important tip, number one, is go into your options menu, go to UI, scroll, I think it's down to the bottom. Yeah, scroll all the way to the bottom. This right here, advanced mod descriptions, right? So with that off, you want it on, but with that off, when you press Alt, all you see is the item level at the top, which is the item level of an item is relevant to the zone that it was dropped in, not the item, not the level required to equip the item. But with that on, what you see is every mod's role range and whether it's a prefix or suffix, and as well what tier it is, right? So right here it says blah blah chance to gain frenzy charge on kill. I had a 4% 4 to 6 roll. This one rolled 6, which is good, but anywhere in there it could roll, and as well it's a tier 2, so it could go one tier higher, which I believe is 7 to 8, but maybe more, I don't know. So what that means is that you'll be able to more easily price items, rares, and whatnot on PoE Trade or pathofexile.com/trade, whatever site you choose to use, so that way you can better value and get value out of your items. You're not getting scammed out of everything, this and that. The next tip that I have is loot filter. Make sure you get an efficient loot filter. People kind of undervalue the efficiency of having a loot filter. I should have set up an example for you, but I don't have one, so while I ramble, maybe I'll just go run through a little bit of something kind of small, show you what I mean by efficiency and loot filter. It's not that you want to knock everything off, but you want to aim for certain things, right? You don't want to just pick up everything. You don't want to just pick up every rare and identify it. That's not good. There's certain rares with bases that aren't good, and by base I mean, like, you know, the difference between, say, a Dread Maul and like a Karui Axe or something. Like, they're different bases, so they have different base damage, so they're going to scale differently with the same modifiers. Because if an item has 10 damage on it and another item has 100 damage on it, base from the base of the item, and they both have 100% increased damage, which one's going to do more? So, anyway, the loot filter being catered to you and efficient is really important. So here's what I was trying to get to. If you have no loot filter, this is the kind of crap you deal with. Now, how in the world would I, at a glance, and we all used to play like this, tell that this is a 6-socket item? Now, even if you have a loot filter, which most people use, never sinks. Never sinks is good, but I don't think that it's that good for catering to endgame. Neversink made his loot filter specifically to be available to everyone, but it doesn't, it shows too much. Even the strict ones show too much, in my opinion. So long story short, get an efficient loot filter, find out what you want to pick up, what kind of rares, and what kind of uniques you want to see. Like, a lot of people hide low level uniques and shit like that. Get out of here. Alright, so the next trick is leveling gems. Yeah, I have a list. Leveling gems is so important, which I actually have a few empty slots here. Hey, meant to take that. So, in your offhand, a lot of new players don't know this. It's not very intuitive mechanic and feature. Gems still gain experience when they're in your offhand set, right? You have 2 sets of weapons. I'm using this. I don't have anything for axes and swords, but they still gain experience while they're there. And level 21 gems, I might have actually sold it. Yeah, I actually sold my gem. A level 21 of certain gems will sell for a significant amount of money. Now, throughout this league, I have gotten 4 level 21 toxic rains, 3 of which sold for 120 chaos each. Maybe variants of 10 to 15 chaos or something. But the way you do that is once they hit level 20, you use a Val Orb on it, this thing, to corrupt it. It has a chance, it's kind of a small chance, but it will happen, to hit level 21. The other thing you could do is when you hit level 20 on a gem, you can sell it to a vendor with, oh, I don't have any right now. Do I have any in here? With a gem cutter's prism, and a level 20 gem to a vendor with a gem cutter's prism will actually net you a level 1 gem with 20% quality. And then you can re-level it again, which actually might as well do that while I'm here. And once you re-level it, it'll hit level 20, 20% quality. You can val it then. And if you hit a a level 21 gem with 20% quality, you've made even more money. Now, I don't do the 20% side of it because it takes twice as long to level the gems. And yeah, it might be more money in the long run if the rolls hit, but I'd rather just do level 20, hit a few 21s, sell them, start over. That's what I do. Alright, next trick. This is kind of a broad trick. I just wrote down learning to price rare items, which is kind of like a half-assed way for me to put that down, so sorry, but learning how to price a rare item when you get it, what rolls on it are going to make it valuable, is kind of like a long process of learning how things are valuable. So I'm not going to go into that right now because that'll take too long, but if literally even one person comments and says that they want a rare item, I'm going to feel obligated, or not rare item, but a rare item pricing guide. I'm going to feel obligated and just do it. So if you're interested in that, just post a comment and I'll just get around to it because it'll happen. Alright, so the next trick I have is efficiency over everything. And basically what that means is, well, what did I mean when I wrote this down? I think I just meant, like, don't spend forever sitting in your hideout, looking at your gear and this and that. And, like, yeah, don't get me wrong, you want to enjoy the game, you want to have fun, but if you're really trying to make money, just sitting around and worrying about your gear, or spending forever on PoE trade trying to find the best value, or doing stupid crap like, oh, I actually don't want to move my stash because it's in the perfect spot, but like putting your stash way over here or something because it looks cool, and then your map device is way over here, and then you have the closest NPC so you could sell items is over there. Like, that's not efficient, right? It may not seem like much, but you spend 5 seconds walking up to the top left to get to your stash, and then 3 seconds walking down here, and then add that up over the course of 200, 300 maps in a week if you only play that much. That's going to be an hour. Maybe not quite that much, but it might be half an hour, 30 minutes. You might have been able to get 20, 30 more maps in that time. So I think that efficiency in everything is really one of the biggest factors, because you want to, like, manage your time appropriately. Like me, I work a full-time job. I can't just sit and play this game like some of the high-level streamers for 16 hours a day. That'd be great, but it's not realistic. So I have to try and do little tricks to get as much playing and running through as I can. So there's more ways you can be efficient, and just skimming time off is really the biggest thing. Anything you can think where, oh, that took too long, but I can make it quicker, do that. Alright, so the next thing, play a lot. It sounds obvious, but I went like probably 2,000 hours playing this game where I never hit level 90 on a character because I would get bored of it and I would start dying and my gear wasn't good, and it was all my fault, and I wasn't really trying hard. I just I didn't want to be efficient. I just wanted to play a little, get some cool builds, not really worry too much if I was hitting endgame content. So when I started to get out of that, what I did is I started to just zone out and play through maps while, like, watching YouTube or something like that, listening to music and playing a lot without stopping. I'm not saying bust out 12 hours in a row. Like, sure, if you want to, that is better, but it's just, I watch some of my friends play or what they do, and they spend a lot of time in their hideout complaining they don't have any money. Like, instead of sitting in your hideout, you could be in a map. You're not making money by sitting there complaining you don't have money. So play a lot, do maps, run as many as you can as fast as you can. So let's see, I'm actually gonna skip 2 because this is more relevant. So one of the next things I wrote was, yes, basically every build can do endgame content and bosses, but no, not every build should do them, right? Like, you can take, like, a Viper Strike, the two-hander build or something silly into Shaper, but if you're trying to make money and you don't have money, something like that's not going to work. And I don't want to like try and enforce playing the meta because I don't. And like, sure, I'm playing Toxic Rain, but if you check when I released my first Toxic Rain guide, I was before a lot of the other Toxic Rain metas came around. I didn't know this was gonna become meta. I found it out on my own, and it just kind of worked out that way. But so you gotta find a mix between something fun and something good, but also find the limits of what your build can do. You don't want to just take any build and think, I want to do everything with this build just because I want to do everything. Not every character should go through and try to complete every piece of the game, right? So I guess the final point on that topic is find out what your character is most efficient at. Like I said, efficiency over everything. Find out what it's best at. Like, is it best at running tier 8 maps, which aren't bad? Is it best at running tier 15 maps? Is it best at doing delves? Is it best at whatever? Just find out what it's at and basically streamline that. Try to do as much of that as you can, efficiently as you can. Let's see, the next thing I wrote, don't worry, I'm just going to read this because I don't remember actually what I wrote here. Don't worry about your build getting exponentially better. Farm what you can for now and improve later. Well, I'm smart. That's actually like a pretty good point. So I guess what I meant there is I see people all the time on a 4-link, and then they spend 200 fusings and 300 jewelers trying to get a 6-link, and they don't get it, and then they're like, wow, this sucks, I don't want to play anymore. And like, okay, yeah, I understand demotivation because I've been in that same situation, but what you want to look at from that is you tried to jump the gun going from 4-link to 6-link. You didn't even try for a 5-link. And a 5-link is going to be significantly different than a 4-link, right? It's going to be between a 50 and 60% damage upgrade depending on what gem you put in. Maybe it's utility upgrade if you put in something like a Mirage Archer or whatever it may be. So that's just one example of people that they don't want to like scale their build up slowly by doing low content. Like when I started this league, first 2 or 3 days, which I did play a lot because it was a holiday, I was only doing, tier 7s or less or something for the first 2 or 3 days. I didn't have a lot going for it. I didn't have the maps to do higher stuff anyway, but I didn't really want to just jump all the way up in high content. And some people are, they're not you, but some people are impatient and they don't want to scale up. They want to jump up, and I don't think that that's a good way to look at it. So just do what you can for now. Get up money, get like a big chunk of money, and then worry about the rest later. Alright, here's the thing I skipped over earlier. Don't pick up portal or wisdom scrolls. Like, let me show you. So this is really important. Don't ever pick up wisdom scrolls. Look, transmutes sell for 4 apiece. You don't need to do that. There's no realistic reason you should ever run out of transmutation orbs. The only reason I'm this low on them, because I had like 400, is because I keep trading them in for portals or wisdom scrolls. And then you don't really need portal scrolls because the portal gem exists. Now, there is an argument for that some builds are really socket heavy, and I understand that, but you can also go into town, if it loads, talk to the vendor, and you can buy portal scrolls for 3 wisdoms at a time. In worst case scenario, you can buy portal scrolls from another trader if you're not on SSF, and that's really not that bad. People argue with me, like some of my friends, and I love them to death. They're great people. They're not bad at the game, but they argue with me that picking up portal scrolls is still okay, and it's not, and they just don't listen, and I don't know how to explain it better because I've tried. But if you don't trust me, just keep doing it. You're just killing yourself in the long run. You're wasting time. You're losing more money. Zizarin recently said a quote on his stream that I happened to catch, which was, clear speed is quantity. And increased item quantity, if you don't know, is one of the best stats in the game. It gives you more items per monster that you kill, per drop, this and that. And at the same time, if you're clearing faster, you're getting more drops. You're killing more monsters. It is more stuff. So the time that you take to pick up 100 portal scrolls in the course of 10 maps or something is the time you could have done 2 or 3 more maps. Or not even portal scrolls, wisdom scrolls, whatever. Scrolls in general. They suck. I hate that they exist. on the floor. I will never have a loot filter that doesn't, or that shows them past like the first 12 hours of a league, because when you first start in the league you kind of have to pick them up, but after that, no, don't pick them up. And then, alright, so last tip is set personal goals. Now this sounds like almost after school special, but if you're just kind of playing willy-nilly and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just trying to farm maps, I'm level 85, I've kind of got into it, I'm just going along for the ride, you're not going to have anything to look forward to, and you're not going to have any motivation. So now every league, in order for me to stay motivated for a longer period of time and to get more money, like I set a goal. Like my goal right now is to acquire a headhunter. I've never had a headhunter. I've never been that efficient of a player. I've never been that rich. I'm slow rolling. Don't get me wrong. It's going slow, but hopefully eventually I'll hit my goal. And even if I don't, at least I had something to look forward to, and I had a reason to keep playing. You know. So that, I mean, that's basically it. Like, find a reason to keep yourself playing, to want to earn money. And these might not be the best tips you've ever heard, but I think it's more of an overview of it's about playing the game, less about being efficient in making money, right? And well, and I guess I don't want to put it that way either. It's about playing the game while being efficient in making money, but if you're just playing just to make money, you know, what's the motivation there? I don't know. I think I've gotten off on a little bit of a tangent here. So alright, so that's basically it. I know this kind of turned from like a tips video into like a philosophical discussion on why you should play the game, but you know, I had fun making it. Hopefully y'all got some good information out of it. Like I said earlier, if anybody wants a rare item pricing guide, let me know. I will make it if literally one person asks, because this is how I do it. I'm like a people pleaser, I guess. So yeah, that's basically it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll respond to literally every single question and comment that anyone posts. So, alright, that's it. Thank you.